Hello, everyone. It's Brian Tucheron, and I'm here. Sorry about being late. We're just having to do get the technology all sorted out and all that good stuff. So we're here. We're happy. We're joyful. We're living in the ever-present gladness that is this ever-present now moment. And we know and trust that all is going perfectly because it always is. It's already done. It's already fulfilled. It's already here, and we're already happy and we're already thriving in this ever-glorious perfection that is life. So I thank you for being patient. I apologize once again for showing up 11 minutes late, even though I was here on time. Now I'm here in this ever-present now moment. So once again, thank you for being here. I apologize for being technically late, even though it's all now. And thank you for that. Thank you for showing up and knowing that you are the perfection of life and that this perfection of life shines forth through you and as you. You are the ever-present glory and perfection. I have a handful of questions that I'm going to be answering. I do have to get off the call a little earlier today. So there's that. So I know and trust that all is good. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I know. Again, my name is Brian Tucheron. I'm an author. I'm a coach. I am a public speaker. So there's all of that. I want to get into something that has come up to my attention recently, and it's living in this ever-present knowing of pure, endless, infinite gratitude. It's living in this ever-present nowness of living from a gratitude, a state of beingness that is ever-presently allowing yourself to live from the fulfillment of this ever-present now moment. So when I'm living from gratitude, which is always and now, always, and forevermore, I feel the ever-present completion of who I am as God, this God essence that is the embodiment of all that is complete, the perfection of life ever presently here now. I need do nothing but live from this ever-present knowingness, beingness of the fulfillment of that which is God's endless perfection that is you, me, and all. And when I see this and know this and hear this and feel this perfection within my mind, my heart, my body, my being, and my experience, the effortless flow of that which is the ever glorious unfolding of a symphony of gladness shines forth here and now and always. So it's really just remembering to, if there's anything that appears to be opposite from positive or love or joy or peace or prosperity, to remember first who you are, God, who all is, God, that all is really innately and inherently love, joy, peace, and harmony. And that as we stand forth in this love, joy, peace, and harmony, we allow that which is the glory and perfection that is ever presently the greatness of life to shine forth. And we animate that which is the illuminating greatness that is already dwelling within us. So when we realize there's really nothing to do, there's nothing to do but be our awakened perfection, to be our awakened perfection, to be our awakened perfection. So in this ever-present moment, we can do that. We can tune our minds, our hearts, our beings into that present glory and that ever-present wonder. And we can allow the wonder and glory that is our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our beings to ever flow in an ever effortless nature, right? Because the river flows in the same direction always, right? The river is always flowing in the same direction. The ocean is always moving and flowing in the perfection, right? It's always flowing. It's always doing what it needs to do. All we have to do is let the flow that is inherently innately within us to flow right in this ever-present moment. Because that flow, that God, the essence, is us. And when we let go and we detach from the appearance of lack or worry or stress or fear or any of those other illusionary things, and we come back to the oneness, that truth of who we are, we stand forth in this ever-present moment. And the present that is you, that is me, and that is all, unwraps itself as God and expresses the endless miracle that is your experience of earth living as heaven. So right now in this ever-present moment, why don't we just take a moment to tap into that presence, to really just bring it in, to feel it true, to feel it real. Take a breath and feel the truth of who you are. Take a breath and really tap into that gratitude, that presence, right? Not necessarily focusing on what's going on in your mind, but focusing on maybe something that's consistent, like your heartbeat or your breath. and tying that breath or that heartbeat to that which is the gratitude of just being unconditional. Because God is unconditional. God loves all, for God is all. How can you not love something, for all is you? All is you. So when we tap back into that unconditional, endless, infinite self that is you, that is me, that is all, we remember who we are, and we remember who all is. We remember that there's nothing and no one that is missing. There's nothing missing. And we return to the ever-present gladness and the fulfillment of this day. This day. Because today is the day that the Lord has made. You are the Lord. You are one as God. The Father and I are one. The Mother and I are one. It's all one. It's all one. You and I are one. So this I am greatness that is you, that is me, and that is all is ever present. And all we have to do is truly just let go and be in the ever present fulfillment of that endless greatness, that endless wonder, and that endless magnificence. So there's my little awesomeness that is shining forth upon you and within you and as you. I love you all. I know you're all perfect, whole, and complete. I know in this ever-present moment that you're shining upon that which is the glory and perfection, and that the sprinkling of wonder and the magnificence of glory is shining forth in your ever-present heart, mind, and soul right now, and that you feel a kindling of peace and harmony and joy and tranquility emanating within your mind, within your body, and within your heart. And I say thank you, because I know that's the truth, and I know that it's done. I'm going to go on to the first question I have. Again, thank you all for being here. Hello, I'm Brian Tushrone, and I appreciate you all being here. The first question says, my parents have arranged a meeting of one with a guy next Sunday, and I don't like him. I have tried my best to stop it, but it didn't stop. And and she wants to marry her boyfriend. So the first thing to do is, there's no obstacle or undesirable circumstance to the mind of God, which is in you, around you, and serves you now. God lives within you and as you. So this appearance of something that you don't want does not need to be stressed upon. You can, at this very moment, take a moment to breathe and let go of all that appears to be stressful in your life. By coming back to this place of like an inner sanctuary of self, you allow the noise or the appearances or the stories of life to be, allow yourself to detach from them. You allow the patterns of the past, the memories that you hold on to be relinquished and renewed and revitalized and resurrected. And as we live in this renewed, resurrected, revitalized self, we come from a place of fulfillment. We come from a place of knowing that you already are perfectly married and happy, that all of your family, both on your side and your husband's side, is happily and joyfully intertwining in a bubbly relationship of a masterpiece of gloriousness, and that all is unfolded perfectly, not only for you but for them, and that you're all rejoicing in the gladness together. So right now, in this ever-present moment, I would recommend highly to take a breath and release. Maybe do the I am meditation, right? Or you can even say, I remember when this appearance of being set up with this guy was a thing, but now isn't it wonderful that I'm with my husband, that you're already married? Or to level it up one more step, you could say, isn't it wonderful that I am happily married to the man of my dreams? And now it's even more phenomenal that my family and his family are getting together better than I could possibly have imagined. You can do that, but the most important thing that I would say, first of all, is to detach from the appearance or the story or the worry or the fear or the stress. To stop in this ever-present moment, stop in this present moment, and to reorient yourself into the unconditional self that you are, the God self, the self that is already fulfilled, the self that already has it all, that is it all, and live from the fulfillment of that ever-present nature of the glory and the perfection of you and your husband already being married, that you already are fulfilled. And if you're already fulfilled, it's already done, it's already complete, and there's nothing lacking. So I would recommend taking a break, stopping in this moment, detaching from the thoughts and the worries and the stress, and remembering who you are, remembering that you're God, that you're love, that you're joy, that you're peace, that you're perfect, that you're whole, that you're fulfilled, that it's all done, that there's nothing and nothing that you need to do, and there's no obstacle or undesirable circumstance to you. All that is ever needed is to trust, to let go and trust, to let go into the ideal, into the fulfillment, into the beingness of your ever-present fulfillment that is God as you, and to trust unconditionally that you are and always have been and always will be across past, present, future, because all is now. It really isn't past, present, and future. It's all about what you're dwelling upon. So if you're dwelling upon or living within or remembering or thinking about or thinking from or thinking as being that happy, loving wife and having a happy, harmonious relationship between your families, that is what is. And if you can fully pour yourself into that and marinate within to the submerged conscious dominion of that fulfillment, then the doneness that is animates effortlessly. So be easy with yourself, be joyful with yourself, and allow yourself to really feel this. I would recommend listening to this a couple times so that you can really get into it. Yeah, reboot. Allow yourself to just get into the goodness, because you are the goodness. You are the greatness. You are the love. You are the joy. You are the peace. You are the perfection. And you asked, this wonderful person asked a follow-up question: how can I convince people? You don't need to convince anyone, because the world is within you. You really just remember who you are, and you live from that fulfillment within yourself, and the world that is you instantaneously, immediately, and effortlessly changes or rearranges or repopulates to be as you are. The world, life is being as you are. So as you truly believe, believing is seeing, believing is experiencing. As you believe, so shall you see, so shall you experience. So believe right now. Let go and believe right now that you are the endless infinite perfection, and that your world is already complete, that your life is already complete, that your fulfillment is already complete, that you are happily married, that your relationships is thriving, and you're cherished and adored and appreciated, and all of your life is flowing like an endless glory of magnificent balloon popping joyful happiness. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that right now. So that was that. I know that was awesome. I know it was perfect, and I know it answered and fulfilled your innermost desire of that question, and that you're feeling great right now. And I recommend that you continue to feel that awesomeness and that greatness, and allow that to perpetuate within your ever-present day in your life. And I thank you for that, and I love you all. And I'm going to go on to the next question, because once again, I have to get off the call early today. Okay? Love you. The next one says, how do I feel that memory is fluid? How do I feel that memory is fluid? Well, what I meant by memory is fluid is you can move from one thing. It's not permanent. A memory doesn't have to be permanent. You can wipe it. I said you can wipe it clear, like on a whiteboard, right? It's not permanent. It's fluid, meaning you can shift it, like water. It can shift. It can change. It can be remolded. It can fit into a container. The container is you. And if you remold your memory to believe and remember only that what you choose to be, that's kind of, as Candace would say, revision 2.0. You're going back into the past and changing it to reflect that what you believe yourself to be, and that's what animates into this ever-present moment. So yeah, I said that was good. So you can move from it and dwell from a conscious beingness. You can dwell from a conscious beingness of a new memory, because you are the one that animates the memory, animates the film roll. You know how in a film it's each picture that is all played, and it looks like one single, it looks like a continual thing, but it's really one picture at a time. Each memory is like one picture at a time, and you're animating it, you're illuminating it, you're giving life to it. So you, in this ever-present moment, can clear anything or let go of or detach or forgive or forget or heal and remember the truth, and replace it with that which is the perfection of your ideal now, the perfection of your fulfillment now, the gratitude that it is already done now. So that's what I would say with that. And you don't have to identify with it because your identity is God. Your identity is God, the divine operant one. And you can call it whatever you want. You don't use the word God, then use a different word. It doesn't matter to me. But it's this divine essence of perfection. It's this unconditional, infinite operant power, this glory, unconditional self of love, joy, peace, and harmony. It's that which is and always has been perfect. And that is you. That is all. So I will go on to the next question. And again, thank you for being here. I wrote them down. You guys sent me questions. You guys and girls and ladies and people sent me questions. I wrote them down because that's the good stuff. How not to keep falling for the same past old story. Ooh. So the same story keeps coming up. I said, in my experience, one shifts and stays present within that shift by staying present as the ideal, as the glory. One stays present as the ideal. One detached completely by living in the ideal. And once again, I'm going back to, like, isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now. If you're feeling marvelous, if you're feeling wonderful, if you're feeling grateful right now, is it possible to feel the old pattern, the thing that is maybe undesirable? No, it's not. If you're feeling grateful, or isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now. Isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now. If you're feeling that right now, then you are living from the ideal. You're living from the more and more of the unconditional self that you are. And you're allowing that which is already done to populate from the perfection that is already within you. Because it's all done now. It's already been done. It's already created. Creation is finished. And all I'm ever doing is allowing that which is the perfection to be as me. And that perfection that is already here. So as I let go and detach from all the noise, or the worries, or the stress, or the fears, or the trying too hard, and I let myself be in this ever-present moment and to feel and know the effortlessness of my fulfillment. The old story is let go of, it's detached from, because you stand forth in this moment and you know that you are feeling wonderful and marvelous now. You're feeling great and harmonious. You're feeling grateful. So I would say, you can do, isn't it wonderful? Something marvelous is happening to me now. Isn't it wonderful? 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 Something marvelous is happening to me right now. So you can sing it, and that usually, for me, is an amplifier that helps to really anchor in the feeling of feeling wonderful and marvelous right now. Anchor in the feeling of feeling wonderful and marvelous right now. And because I brought that up, myself, Brian Tuscherone, and Candace from the Awakening the God Self have a wonderful Isn't It Wonderful club, Isn't It Wonderful.club, that is an amazing, awesome community that helps to support and remind you and imagine with you your fulfillment, your end, and your completion, and your perfection. If that's something that's interest to you, by all means, I would love to be there. I would love to celebrate in your successes continually. And you can check that out at isn'titwonderful.club. All right, so there is that. And I love that very much. Next question says, is it possible to heal a black scar that has previously been on the face for years? The answer is yes. It is possible. All is possible. All is now. All potentialities are already present, already done, and already complete. It is believing that. It's believing that it's done. Yes, live from the conscious imagination where there was no black scar. So maybe you had an experience that the black scar came from. You can revise that, and you can remember that memory never happened. You can go back and revise it. Maybe you were walking instead of doing what you were doing. Maybe you were playing games, or maybe you were having dinner with your family instead of whatever maybe that caused that, if that's a potential thing, right? So you can go back and revise. You can remember anew. You can let go and rejoice and replace and remember. By rejoicing and replacing and remembering, you're no longer seeing that which was the appearance of the outside world. So the world that in our bodies, our world, our life, all lives within us. That's what I'm trying to say. It all lives within us. It all lives within us. So if everything lives within us, all we ever have to do is live from the fulfillment of our completion, the fulfillment of that which is our ideal here and now. And as we do that, as we remember the truth of who we are, that a scar, injury, all of that can be replaced. All of that can be revised. All of that can be remembered in a new way, by revising and replacing the memory, by revising and replacing the energy, by revising and replacing it with the truth of who you are, because who you are is perfect. Who you are is complete. And who you are is God. And God doesn't have any flaws and doesn't have any issues, including me. Like I've previously, I remember when I previously might have had an injury, but now, isn't it wonderful that I am perfect, whole, and complete? And then we level up again and we say, I remember when that my body, my mind, my soul, my being, my allness, all of consciousness that within me has always been perfect, has always been harmonious and loving and joyful and amazing. And now, isn't it wonderful that I live from that amazing, ever glorious heaven that is ever present here and now, and that is all I know, taste, see, hear, experience, smell, and all, and so on. And the beauty and the perfection that is the gumdrops of waterfall magnificence is here, gloriously dancing upon the winds of magnificence and the joys of ever-present butterflies flapping in the wind. Why? Because when I stand forth in this moment, I allow myself to ever-presently feel and ever-presently be the effortless being that is God, ever unfolding that which is the magnificence of a heaven that's living within me and expressed and experienced in and as the world, in and as life. So again, I believe I said you can use I remember when also for the appearance of the scar, and you can also, so you can do that as well. I'm going to look at your wonderful comments now, and I'm going to maybe do a few of those, and then I'm going to say, I love you, and then we're going to head off into the next ever-present moment, being our endless, infinite, perfected self, and allowing that which is the glory and perfection that you are, that I am, that all is, to ever-presently be, because it is all here now, all gloriously fulfilled now. Says, hello, I want to go into med school this year. How do I go about doing so? You imagine from the end, you imagine being already in med school and it already being complete. You imagine being already in med school and it already being complete. Your fulfillment is already always present, and you are already perfected in being in med school. So imagine the end, live from and as the end, meaning your inner conversations, your words, your thoughts, your allness is ever presently as you are already in med school, or that you've already completed med school and you're maybe a doctor, or right? So you can even go to the end of being a doctor. You want to be a doctor, that's your end desire. You can live from that end of I am already a doctor. And how would it feel to be a doctor? What would you notice? What would imply that's different from today? What would imply that you're already in the med school? What would imply? What would people say to you? What would you hear? What would you notice? Would your friends say congratulations? Would you feel a sense of accomplishment? Would you feel grateful? What would be going on? What would be happening? So start occupying and living from being in med school now that you're already in it. Feel that real over and over and over again until it feels so natural that you don't ever have to do it again. Feel it real, and then detach from the want or the need of it. Detach from the I have to do this or whatever, but live in the end of its completion. And you really only have to feel it real once. If you feel it real and you let it go or detach from it, and it feels true, It's already done, and that unfolds immediately or in the right and perfect time, whatever that means. Because there really isn't no time; it's just now. But I know and trust that answers your question, and I know and trust that was endlessly helpful. It says I'm out at a restaurant. That's cool. Very cool. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, how do you practice actually forgetting the past in regards to forgiveness? Well, how do you practice for actually forgetting the past in regards to forgiveness? For me, I look at everyone and see myself, and if it's basically love yourself as your neighbor. So when you love yourself, you love everyone. So if I see that someone else is maybe have done something or that I have to forgive, it's really about forgiving myself. And as I forgive myself, I forgive them. Them meaning myself again. So it's just being present that it's all oneness. And as I have, it's an opportunity and a blessing to see each and everything in the world as an opportunity for me to always remember and to live from my place of home or heaven. And another thing to remember is, doesn't it feel better to release and let go of that which is pain or worry or stress or anger and live from a place of happiness or joy or peace or perfection? And to realize that if it's all self pushed out, or if it's all one, or it's all we're all united in this harmonious wonder of magnificence, why not choose in this present moment? Why not decide in this ever present moment to live from the glory and perfection that we've always been? Why not in this ever present moment choose to say that no matter what the appearance of anything was, I am choosing at this moment to love myself so fully that I love everyone so fully, because everyone truly is myself. Everyone truly is God. Everyone truly is divine. It says, forgetting the past in regards to forgiveness. Yeah. You can also do I Remember When, and isn't it wonderful? You can also do a revision, as I talked about earlier. All of those are wonderful things. All of those are great tools. But for me, it's really remembering who I am and who all is, and loving everyone unconditionally. I read a book once. It was a children's book, and that book's not coming to my mind. But it says, the book said, the children's book person, the character in it said, I want to be the part of special that's called forgiving. And God said to the angel, there's nothing to forgive because it's all you. Everything in your life is all you. Everything in your life is all you. So if it's all you, all you're doing is loving yourself more. All you're doing is loving God more. And all you're doing is remembering that you and God and all are united as one. But by all means, I would drop in, do I Am meditation so you can detach from the appearance of anything, or get into a grateful or happy or joyful attitude, and then shift into the place of remembering your truth. Revise and remember a complete different story. Replace the memory, replace whatever it is, and see it unfold in the ideal way. And that's another way you can do it as well. Thank you. You're all looking wonderful too. I love you all. You're perfect. It says, wash away. It says, please help me wash away my negatives. I am unable to claim to be God as I somewhat care about my human self. Well, for me, caring about my human self is really dropping into being God, because God is the fulfillment of my human self. When I live from the beingness and consciousness of God, my human self is already taken care of in all matters. All my desires, dreams, and goals are already fulfilled, because that God essence, I'm not getting in the way of things. The human aspect of Brian Tusharone is not saying, I am going to go figure this out, when it's already figured out. It's already done. It's already complete. It's already fulfilled. It's already perfect. It's already love. It's already joy. It's already peace. It's already perfection. And if it's already done, it's already fulfilled, and the creation is finished, then what do I need to do? I need to listen, let go, remember, and live from that gratitude. And if I get inspiration, act upon the inspiration. That's it. Let go from the worry, the doubt, or the I have to do this, and just listen and be present. And as I'm present, the present of the glory and the perfection of your fulfilled human self as God unfolds. That's my experience. That's my understanding in this ever-present moment. And I know and trust that that has been helpful to you, because you are perfect, you're whole, you're complete, that all your desires and dreams are already here. And as we remember who we are, we reunite with that which we never left, but we reunite in awareness and consciousness with that which is the unconditional one, the unconditional self, the God self that we are, or the divine self that we are. We easily and effortlessly stand forth in the fulfillment, in the rejoicing gladness, in the end or the completion of our dreams, of our wishes, and of heaven being here now and experiencing the endless, infinite rejoicing gladness. I would also remind yourself to take it easy on yourself. Don't judge yourself, but love yourself. Notice and be aware and observe. Observe what's going on without judging yourself, but taking a moment just to say, okay, this is what's going on. This doesn't define me. Nothing defines me. I'm already perfect, whole, and complete. And if nothing defines me, and I'm already perfect, whole, and complete, and nothing defines anyone because they're already perfect, whole, and complete, then I don't need to react, but I can respond from a place of love, a place of joy, a place of harmony, a place of perfection, a place of completion and fulfillment and gratitude. So that's another thing. Take the onus of off the judgment and remember to notice and be aware of who you are. Notice and be aware of your perfection. And you can observe your own actions and your own thoughts and your own words, and everyone else's, all the other people that is truly self or divine or God as well. And without judging anything or anyone or yourself, you can take a moment and reflect and respond and love and remember and change the conversation in the ever-present moment, which is revising, and live from a new place, live from a new understanding, live from a new love, a joy, peace, and harmony, this newness that is not truly new, but is it's a rekindled remembrance of who you are, of who all is. And as you do this, you easily and effortlessly stand forth as heaven, and this heaven that is shines forth with ease and grace because it's always been present. And it's just allowing ourselves to and giving ourselves permission to not judge ourselves or the world or anything else, but to love ourselves in the world and everything else, because it's all God and it's all us. And as we do it all instantaneously, immediately, and effortlessly, changes, shifts, rearranges, and all the other words to be as it always has been, perfect. Love, joy, peace, and all the other positive words you could think of. So thank you for that question. Thank you for being here, and I love you all. I'm going to be getting off this wonderful, awesome live chat in a minute or so. I really appreciate you all being here. I love you all dearly. I see you all as perfect. I imagine and hold within my body, being, and consciousness your fulfillment here and now. And I already know and trust your desires, your completion is already perfect, whole, and complete, because the promise is fulfilled and it's here and now. And I'm living it, and you're living it, and it is done. So I will look and see if there's another question. This is any advice for when you get stuck in trying to fix a problem that keeps arising, such as stiff muscles that seem to respond to revision, inner conversations, or scenes. If something keeps coming up, it's usually for me to be aware of something instead of just trying to get rid of it, like by revision or something. If revision or I remember when appears to not be working, it most likely means that I am not aware of something, or that my awareness has to tap into something so I can get the aha moment or clarity. And as I have the aha moment or clarity, that those seeming appearances of stiff muscles or whatever else you said tend to go away. But as I get the clarity and awareness of who I am, the clarity and awareness of what is the truth of the matter in this present moment, which is really seeing all is good, wonderful, magnificent God, truth, and harmony, as seeing the endless infinite and unconditional fulfillment and gratitude right now. And you can always ask yourself, is this infinite? Meaning, is this endless infinite positive? Is this the fulfillment of me and all? Is this God? Is this perfect? Is this whole? Is this complete? And if the answer is no at all, then maybe you could just take a moment without judging yourself, but loving yourself, and say, what is this? What is it that appears to be missing or lacking? Because there really is nothing missing or lacking. And you already know that, because that's why you asked yourself the question. And you're allowing yourself to be present and receive that which is the answer that's already inherently within you, because you are the answer and the solution. And as you stop and you breathe and you give yourself a moment to detach from that which appears to be, the remembered greatness, the remembered gladness, the remembered infinite glorious divine wisdom and knowledge that has always been present, appears to arrive within you, even though it's always been there. And you receive the aha that we've all received ahas. And what happens? Oh, I knew that, right? Yeah, I remember that. It's always been there, because it always has been. And all you're doing is you're giving yourself the opportunity and the blessing to receive that aha again, and to be present, to be open, and to remember the glory and the perfection that you've always been. So that's what I would say for that. Again, I want to say thank you all for being here. I believe I answered all your questions. Thank you all once again for being here. My name is Brian Tuscherone. If you did arrive late, I'm a author, coach, and whatever else the other one is, speaker. There it is. And I did mention the Isn't It Wonderful Club. It's a wonderful club, supported community, where the community members, as well as Candace and myself, lovingly support you, answer your questions. We imagine with you, know your end, and we rejoice. It's a party that is ever presently played in, and we play all day in the rejoicing gladness of heaven, and we live in that and for that with you and as you, and we only see and know your truth, see and know your ideal, only see and know your perfection. So it's Isn't It Wonderful .club. If that resonates with you, by all means, check it out. And if not, I love you anyway. So until the next ever-present moment, I'm going to sign off a little bit early because I have a meeting that I have to go to. But thank you so much for being here. And if you have more questions or more thoughts, just DM me on Instagram at Brian Tuscherone, which is my name. You can find it in this thing as well. BRINTUCCIARONE. Thank you, Candace, for putting that there. And I will be here again next Monday at 9 a.m. Hawaii time. And that's it. Love you guys so much. Thanks for being patient for me showing up a little bit late, as I had to do some revision for technology. And thank you for being understanding for me having to take off a little early. But I love you all. I know your perfection is here and done. And until the next ever-present moment, which is always now, remember who you are. Remember that you're perfect. Remember that I love you. And if I love you, you're perfect. Remember that you love yourself. And that's all that matters. I'm going to stop talking because I said bye like 3 times now. But I love you. Take care.